A few moments, meditate on the Divine Supreme for peace and happiness of the whole mankind. Shanti Shanti Hari Om Tat Sat Om Stapakaya cha dharmasya Sarvadharma Swarupine Stapakaya cha dharmasya Sarvadharma Swarupine Avatara Varishtaya Ramakrishna Te Namah Asato ma sadgamaya Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya Mrityorma mritangamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us offer our salutations to Sri Ramakrishna, the embodiment of all religions, the Supreme God Incarnate. Let us pray to Him to lead us from the unreal to the real, to lead us from the darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge, to lead us from death to immortality. We have been discussing the teachings of Sri Ramakrishna taken from a gospel. Tomorrow we are observing Sri Durga festival. We will be worshipping the Divine Mother of the universe. Tomorrow is most auspicious day. The Mother of the universe is gracious and she descends on this earth in order to bestow grace, happiness and prosperity towards all. So Divine Mother, her part is very great in this universe. Sri Ramakrishna had direct vision of the Divine Mother named as Kali, and he came to know how the Divine Mother is playing in this universe. Sri Ramakrishna says in the Gospel, when the reality appears as creator, preserver and destroyer, we call it as Shakti. When it is inactive, we call it as Brahman. But really, it is one and the same thing, indivisible. Brahman and Shakti are one and the same. Absolute Brahman and the Divine Mother are one and the same. God and His manifestation. He is to be realized through His manifestation. That absolute Brahman is called as Brahman in the Vedas, when it transcends speech and thought and is without attributes and action. Sri Ramakrishna says, I call that Brahman as Shakti, Adya Shakti. When I find it creating, preserving and destroying the universe. The primordial power is ever at play. She is creating, preserving and destroying in play as it were. This power is called Kali. Kali is verily Brahman and Brahman is verily Kali. It is one and the same reality. So, the Divine Mother, she is ruling the whole universe. The whole creation is working, is playing on account of this divine power. There is a verse in Devi Upanishad which belongs to Atharva Veda. Sarve vai deva devi upatastuhu kasitvam mahadevi sabbravidaham brahmasvarupini mattaha prakriti purushatmakam jagatshunyancha shunyancha ahamanandanandana vijnana vijnaneneham aham panchabhutanya panchabhutani ahamakilam jagat. The meaning of this verse is that all the devas, celestials, went to the goddess and asked her, O goddess great, who are you? And she made answer, saying, I am of the nature of Brahman, the Absolute. Out of me has come the universe constituted of Prakriti and Purush, and of void and non-void. I am both pleasure and pain. I am both knowledge and ignorance. I am both five elements and the not five elements. I am all the universe. So, if we understand this concept, that everything is going on by the power of the Divine Mother, and Divine Mother is present everywhere, all pervading, and her power is acting upon the whole universe. So we should adore her, we should worship her, then surely we will be blessed with happiness and prosperity. Another profound wisdom of Sri Ramakrishna, he spoke of the glory of Om. He said, the sound Om is Brahman. The rishis and sages practiced austerity to realize that sound Brahman. After attaining perfection, one hears the sound of the eternal world rising spontaneously from the navel. By following the trail of Om, you attain Brahman, of which the word is the symbol. The Anahata is a spontaneous sound constantly going on by itself. It is the sound of the Pranava, Om. It originates in the universe, and one should meditate on this Om. There is Upanishad, Mahanarayana Upanishad. There it is described Omityatmanam yunjita etadvai mahopanishadam devanam guhyam ya evam veda brahmano mahimanam apnoti tasmat brahmano mahimanam ityupanishad. So one having meditated upon the Supreme should concentrate his thoughts on Him, uttering the syllable Om. This, the syllable Om, verily is the substance of many great Upanishads and a secret guarded by the gods, never being imparted to the unfit. He who thus practices meditation on the Supreme with the aid of pranava, after renouncing all worldly desires, attains to the unlimited greatness of the Supreme. By that he attains to the greatness of Brahman. Thus has the secret of the Supreme knowledge been imparted. So Om is the symbol of God. By repeating Om concentratedly, one gets peace and one gets the realization of the Supreme Lord. But one should qualify oneself properly, prepare his mind thoroughly. One should aspire for spiritual life earnestly. Then he will be able to concentrate and meditate upon Om. So preparations are very important. Mind has to be purified before one takes up spiritual life properly. So purification of the mind is extremely important in the spiritual path. The next wisdom Sri Ramakrishna has spoken, that is about the foolishness of fanaticism, how people lose their power of discrimination and how they act in a very foolish way. Sri Ramakrishna narrates a story. It is a story of Ghantakarna. There is a person by this name who worshipped Shiva, but he hated all the other deities. One day, Lord Shiva appeared to him and said, "Well, what are you doing? I shall never be pleased with you so long as you hate other gods." But this devotee was inexorable. After a few days, Lord Shiva again appeared to him. This time, he appeared as Harihara. That is, half of the body is Hari, the other half is Hara. Shiva and Vishnu in one body stood in front of him. At this devotee was half pleased and half displeased. So, when he was placing the offerings, he placed his offerings on the side representing Shiva, but nothing on that representing Vishnu. When he offered dhup, incense sticks, to Shiva, he was so audacious enough to press the nostril of Vishnu lest he should inhale the fragrance. Then Lord Shiva said, "Your bigotry is ineradicable. It cannot be removed. By assuming this dual aspect, I try to convince you that all gods and goddesses are but the various aspects of the one being, but you have not taken the lesson in good part, and you will have to suffer for your bigotry. Long must you suffer for this. Anyway, afterwards the devotee went away and back to his village. He started his life. But, from the beginning he was developing a kind of hatred towards Vishnu. On coming to know this peculiarity of his, the children of the village began to tease him by uttering the name of Vishnu within his hearing. Vexed by this devotee hung 2 bells on his ears, and when the boys cried out Vishnu, Vishnu, he would ring the bells and make those names inaudible to his ears. And thus he came to be known by the name Ghantakarna. Anyway, to what extent the bigotry leads, Sri Ramakrishna is telling this story. There is one Upanishad, Rudra Hridaya Upanishad it's called. There it is mentioned, Ye namasyanti Govindam, te namasyanti Shankaram. Ye archayanti Harim Bhaktya, te archayanti Vrishadhvajam. Ye dvishanti Virupaksham, te dvishanti Janardhanam. Ye Rudram Nabijananti, te na jananti Keshavam. The meaning of this, those who bow to Govinda, Lord Vishnu, they indeed bow to Shankara, Lord Shiva. They who with devotion worship Hari, Lord Vishnu, they indeed worship Vrishadhvaja, Lord Shiva. Those who hate Virupaksha, Lord Shiva, they indeed hate Janardhan, Lord Vishnu. So they do not know Rudra, they indeed do not know Shiva. So this Upanishad is clearly pointing out that there is no difference between Shiva or Vishnu. It is same God taking different names, assuming different powers. As creator, he is called Brahman. As preserver, he is called Vishnu. As destroyer of the universe, he is called Shiva. So, the cycle repeats. The whole universe is created. It goes on for a while. Then it is withdrawn. And after some time again it is projected. So involution, evolution goes on. Nobody can stop it. It is Lord's play. The universe is being created and it is being sustained. There is another wisdom of Sri Ramakrishna which he has spoken in the Gospel. Sri Ramakrishna asked, why do the members of the Brahma Samaj dwell so much on God's glories? Is there any great need of repeating such things as, O God, thou hast created the moon, the sun and the stars? Most people are filled with admiration for the garden only. How few care to see its owner? Who is greater, the garden or its owner? God and his splendor. God alone is real. The splendor has but a 2 days existence. The magic and the magician all become speechless with wonder at the magic, but it is all unreal. The magician alone is real. So there is corresponding verse in the Rigveda. Etavanasya mahimato jayamscha purushaha padosya vishvabhutani tripadasya amritam divi. Such is the splendor. God pervades all space and time. But Purusha is greater than this. All beings are a quarter of him. 3/4 make the immortality in the supreme region. The Veda declares that God is greater than his splendor. The universe and creation do not exhaust him. All the glory of the manifestation is just one bit of him. The other than this bit is vast, infinite. Lord Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Nantosti mama divyanam vibhutinam parantapa. There is no end of my divine manifestations, O Arjun. Vishtabhyahamidam kritsnam ekam shena sthito jagat. With a single fragment of myself, I stand supporting this whole universe. So, God is really great. We should concentrate on him and try to realize him. Another profound wisdom of Sri Ramakrishna, he said, the truly devotional and spiritual practice suited to this Kali Yuga, this modern age, is a constant repetition of the name of the Lord of Love. Satan never enters the house wherein are always sung the praises of Hari. A man who finds all the hairs of his body standing on end at the bare mention of Sri Hari's name, through sheer ecstasy, and who sheds tears of love on hearing the name of God, such a one has reached his last birth. Is the Nama, the name, a trifling thing? God is not different from his name. Satyabhama, the consort of Lord Krishna, tried to balance Krishna with gold and precious stones, but could not do it. Then Rukmini put a tulsi leaf with the name of Krishna on the scales that balanced the Lord. In Bhagavad also we have got the corresponding verse. Krite yadhyayato vishnum tretayam yajato makhaihi dvapare paricharyayam kalau tadhari kirtanat. What is attained in Satya Yuga by one who contemplates on Lord Vishnu, and in the Treta Yuga by one who propitiates him through sacrifices, and in Dwapar Yuga through worship of the Lord, is attained in the Kali Yuga merely by chanting the name and singing the glories of Sri Hari. Kali Yuga Kirtana Sangho. In Kali Yuga, Nam Sankirtan. That's the best spiritual practice prescribed by Sri Ramakrishna. You can't undertake any austerity because your body is weak, your mind is weak, your system is weak, and you are surrounded by tremendous difficult situations, and you are in such a hopeless state. You can't undertake any serious spiritual disciplines. But then Sri Ramakrishna says, don't worry, take the name of God and just repeat his name properly, devotedly, concentratedly, with love. Then you will get the same result as one would get by practicing Raja Yoga, Bhakti Yoga and Jnana Yoga and all other yogas. So, what is needed is that aspiration is important. If you are really aspiring to see God, to realize the truth, then you must concentrate on what you should do, and wholeheartedly you must practice repeating the divine name of God. That's what the meaning of japa. Japa means repetition of Lord's name. Just by repeating God's name, you will reach God. As I said earlier, by constantly repeating Om, you realize Brahman. So we should try to take up spiritual practice with all earnestness. And before this life goes away, we should do something positively so that we are going on the right path and will be blessed by the vision of God. So let us try to practice sincerely without being fanatical. You don't have to be fundamentalist. Just practice what you believe. That's all. Don't try to impose your belief on anybody else. Each one is free to do according to his own choice. So have that feeling, everyone has got freedom. So I also have freedom. I will do according to my way. That's all. There you should stop. But people don't do that. Go on talking, discussing, entering into debate, ending up in confusion. So in spiritual practice there is no room for debating. All doubts should be removed from your heart. When you undertake spiritual discipline, the minimum spiritual discipline is just be simple and practice. Repeat Lord's name. Whatever form of God you are worshipping, perfectly all right. You are touching the same God. You are touching the same God. You are seeing the same God. Whatever country you may belong to, whatever community you may belong to. That's all what I want to say. Any questions to ask? Divine Mother, who is taking care of the whole universe. And tomorrow is the opportunity for us to worship her, to get her grace. Page 732. Girish stood at the door to welcome the master. As Sri Ramakrishna entered the house, Girish fell at his feet and lay there on the floor like a rod. At the master's bidding, he stood up, touching the master's feet with his forehead. Sri Ramakrishna was taken to the drawing room on the second floor. The devotees followed him and sat down, eager to get a view of the master and listen to every word that fell from his lips. Sri Ramakrishna was about to take the seat reserved for him. He saw a newspaper lying near it. He signed to someone to remove that paper. Since a newspaper contains worldly matters, gossip and scandal, he regarded it as unholy. After the paper was removed, he took his seat. Nitya Gopal came forward and bowed low before the master. Master said, "Well, we haven't been to Dakshineshwar for a long time." Nitya Gopal said, "True, sir. I haven't been able to go there. I haven't been well. I have had pains all over my body." Master said, "How are you now?" Nitya Gopal, "Not so well, sir." Master, "Bring your mind down 1 or 2 knots." Nitya Gopal, "I don't like people's company. They say all kinds of things about me that sometimes frightens me, but again I feel great strength within." Master said, "That's only natural. Who lives with you?" Nitya Gopal said, "Tarak, a disciple of Sri Ramakrishna, later known as Swami Chidananda. He is always with me, but sometimes he too gets on my nerves." Master, Nangta told me that there lived at his monastery an ascetic who had acquired occult powers. He used to go about with his eyes fixed on the sky. But when one of his companions left him, he became disconsolate. Again the master went into an ecstatic mood. Strange thoughts seemed to stir his mind, and he remained speechless. After a while he said, "Art thou come? I too am here." Who could pretend to understand these words? Many of his devotees were in the room: Narendra, Girish, Ram, Haripada, Chuni, Balram, and M. Narendra did not believe that God could incarnate himself in a human body. But Girish differed with him. He had the burning faith that from time to time the Almighty Lord, through his inscrutable power, assumes a human body and descends to earth to serve a divine purpose. The master said to Girish, "I should like to hear you and Narendra argue in English." The discussion began, but they talked in Bengali. Narendra said, "God is infinity. How is it possible for us to comprehend him? It dwells in every human being. It is not the case that he manifests himself through one person only." Sri Ramakrishna said tenderly, "I quite agree with Narendra. God is everywhere, but then you must remember that there are different manifestations of his power in different beings. At some places there is a manifestation of his avidya shakti, at others a manifestation of his vidya shakti. Through different instruments, God's power is manifest in different degrees, greater and smaller. Therefore all men are not equal." Ram, what's the use of these futile arguments? Master said sharply, No, there's a meaning in all this." Giri said to Narendra, "How do you know that God does not assume a human body?" Narendra said, "God is beyond words or thought." Master said, "No, that's not true. He can be known by the pure buddhi, who is the same as the pure self. The seers of old directly perceived the pure self through their pure buddhi." Girish said to Narendra, "Unless God himself teaches men through his human incarnation, who else will teach them spiritual mysteries? God takes a human body to teach men divine knowledge and divine love. Otherwise, who will teach?" We shall stop here. Any questions? So, reading Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, you must get inspiration to take up spiritual path as soon as possible. That's the gist. Right, we shall stop. Chant the name of the Lord and his glory unceasingly, that the mirror of the heart may be wiped clean and quench that mighty forest fire, worldly lust, raging furiously within. Own name stream down in moonlight on the lotus heart, opening its cup to knowledge of thyself. O self, drowned deep in the waves of his bliss, tasting his nectar at every step, bathing in his name, that bath for weary souls. Various are thy names, O Lord. In each and every name thy power resides. No times are set, no rites are needful for chanting of thy name. So vast is thy mercy, how huge then is my wretchedness, who find in this empty life and heart no devotion to thy name. O my mind, be humbler than a blade of grass. Be patient and forbearing like a tree. Take no honor to thyself, give honor to all. Chant unceasingly the name of the Lord. O Lord and soul of the universe, mine is no prayer for wealth or retinue, the playthings of lust or the toys of fame. As many times as I may be reborn, grant me, O Lord, a steadfast love for thee. A drowning man in this world's fearful ocean is thy servant, O sweet one. In thy mercy consider him as dust beneath thy feet. Ah, how I long for the day when an instant's separation from thee, O Lord, will be as 1,000 years, when my heart burns away with its desire, and the world without thee is a heartless void. Prostrate at thy feet let me be, in unwavering devotion, neither imploring the embrace of thine arms, nor bewailing the withdrawal of thy presence, though it tears my soul asunder. O thou who stillest the hearts of thy devotees, do with me what thou wilt, for thou art my heart's beloved, thou and thou alone. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness to light, and lead us from death to immortality. May all be free from dangers. May all realize what is good. May all be actuated by noble thoughts. May all rejoice everywhere. May all be happy. May all be free from disease. May all realize what is good. May none be subject to misery. May the wicked become virtuous. May the virtuous reign tranquility. May the tranquil be free from bonds. May the freed make others free. May good betide all people. May the sovereign righteously rule the earth. May all beings ever attain what is good. May the whole world be prosperous and happy. May the clouds pour rain in time. May the earth be blessed with crops. May all countries be freed from calamity. May holy men live without fear. May the Lord, the destroyer of sins, the presiding deity of all sacred works, be satisfied. For he being pleased, the whole universe becomes pleased. He being satisfied, the whole universe feels satisfied.